Welcome to Alan Clements Uncensored. Thank you for listening to my podcast. A few notes about the presentation. After years of scripted talks, many of them methodically outlined, some even memorized, at least in part, I decided to drop that style and simply speak spontaneously from my heart. So that's what I do. My talks are raw and improvisational. I make them up as I go along. In addition to my World Dharma talks, I also offer at times readings from my books, Instinct for Freedom, A Future to Believe in, The Voice of Hope, and Wisdom for the World. I also offer readings of my personal notes, sometimes guided meditations, dialogues from my World Dharma public forums, interviews from radio and television, and sections from my show, Spiritually Incorrect Meets Relationship Incorrect, The Great Reckoning, and the occasional conversation with someone I find interesting. I also want to express my deep gratitude to the people who have made donations to me, either a one-time or recurring donation, either on the support page of my website, alanclements.com, or pledged a monthly amount as little as $1, perhaps $3 or even $5 a month, through my Patreon site. If you're inspired to do so, you can support this podcast and my work by making a monthly pledge at Patreon. That's patreon.com, patreon.com/Alan Clements, and there you'll find my page. You can use a credit card or pay through PayPal, and your monthly pledge, that's what it takes, just a few minutes to set up, allows me not only to do my work, it allows me to create my art, use my voice, speak my Dharma, free of commercial consideration or advertisers. Thank you from my heart for taking the time to listen to my podcast, and thank you for your generous support. I hope you enjoy the presentation. It's better than the street, though, right?
Don't be cynical.
Better than the street.
The thing that scares me a little bit, or that I suppose I'm skeptical of also, is when I get these texts about, if you really look at the current state of play and say, like just happening in Victoria, how many people are impacted by Corona, the amount of deaths, that they're on this 48-hour lockdown. I don't know, call this cynic in this situation, but is it just the politicians being opportunistic and showing that they can be powerful and strong in this period of need, and therefore win some popularity points and votes, essentially? Like, is that really necessary right now?
Trump did that first with the $5 to everybody. Now Boris has followed, and he's made it even bigger. He's up to the ante.
Like, everyone knows you get popular when you take a country into war and you show strength as a leader. And I think the leaders are being opportunistic, and some of these drastic measures are really political moves. And some of them, yes, need to happen, but they're just confident in things that need to be done. I don't know.
Okay.
The fear is just
a lot of intensity. What I would encourage is that level of openness and communication with each other at the right time. Maybe if you want to stay longer, I don't know. I dare even invite meeting later, anything like that. I think talking is very, very important to process through things. It's certainly unprecedented complexity. There's almost no concept that holds the gravity of the issue. It's moving into a rapid assimilation of complexity that's beyond anything that I've known. But let's close for the day and open for tomorrow, open to the evening, with, I wanted to say why I'm here, which is to be open and to learn together, to support one another. But being in the position of standing in front of you, with you, if there's anything on the Dharma, emotion, spiritual, psychological level, if I can suggest that. I'm here for that reason. The politics, the decisions of leaders, I'm going to leave it to them for a while. I have my opinion, but it's just an opinion. Where I'm taking refuge right now is Buddhang Saranam Gacchami. I'm taking refuge in my own personal awakening. Doesn't exclude people. Dhammam. What is my Dhamma? I'm very tempted to, in a way, turn off technology for a while. This little sitting that we did that was so silent, it so speaks to me. It so speaks to me going into a period of solitude where the world spins and those who love you know where you are. There's ways to get in touch. There's a type of pristine silence that's at the moment here. I think that's why I've chosen to be here, that it's not America, it's not, but it's the urban catastrophe. This is not just rural, this is mystical, ancient. This land has been here a long time with people walking it. And I'm not trying to say lucky me, right? But we're here together, right? Ubud, maybe for the moment, maybe for the week, maybe for a month, maybe for a few months. In a way, we're rebels, savants and outcasts together. Maybe we're family now. Very fond of the word Ubuntu, the South African term. I can't be who I wish to be without you. In the absence of Ubuntu, there's apartheid, hierarchy, totalitarianism, domination. In the expression, in the emotionality of Ubuntu, that my breath depends on you, my food depends on you. Yes, I've got my degree of autonomy, I have my credit card, I have this and that, but I think that's where I go into a little bit of my own personal triggering lockdown. So you're taking away my life. You're taking away my life. Buying into the propaganda of they. No one's going to take my life from me. It may be that we develop safe zones and learn how to navigate the traffic of the control mechanisms, which I'm going to leave alone for a moment. We navigate our own communities within communities. Could be wise. In that sitting for 20 minutes, I had the feeling of how beautiful it was to sit in silence with you. Yeah? So cool. Would I want to be doing something different? Let me think. Having dinner with you at cafe, flying to Hawaii, first class maybe, yeah. Not just ordinary back row economy. But yeah, I'm my own first class regardless of the plane or the circumstance of the ticket. I can live with that. In fact, I like walking barefoot. There's a call to nature right now, in a way, for me. Part of my reason for choosing Ubud in Bali was when I looked around and saw the birds and heard them, saw the flowers. Personally, for me, I see the goodness of the people near me where I'm staying, the staff. And there's a resonant place in me that feels seen and that I can express that mutuality with them. And I like that. I like the 3 women that work here, that live here, that breathe here, and the man endlessly smiling at you. open-heartedness. I might even come all around the world to come to this place, to this villa, to meet this woman, because she teaches me open-heartedness. Despite the hardships and the struggles, that might be Ubuntu. I bring this up for me, not you, but in a shared space, although we're being asked to segregate, mitigate, quarantine. I don't like the word lockdown, but the word Ubuntu, may we take Ubuntu higher. I'm not just saying use technology and Zoom and Facebook and YouTube and phones and technology and WhatsApp. Yes, 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 and no, 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 no. But at the same time, navigate new pathways of communion, right? Jenny brought this up, and others brought this up. Navigate new pathways of communion. Look what they did in the Warsaw Ghetto. Those who resisted had a longer lifespan than those who complied. I mean, the odds of that virus are pretty severe. And I'm saying, yes, be smart, be sensitive, be compassionate, but at the same time, let's navigate this maze of phenomenology. We are the molecule of our own being and God too, simultaneously. We have every right in the world to be who we are in this context. We are our own government. I say this in support of my own needs. Maintain your own sovereignty in communion to Ubuntu. Show up for oneself is a very important thing. Those of us who are parents in the room, those of us who are parents online, we must take care to show up for our children, right? How essential is that? How beautiful is that? Gave me a new meaning of raison d'etre. And I really love that feeling of Ubuntu. I cannot grow independent of you. There's something very beautiful about that. So when I hear someone talk about fear and complexity, I can't grow without hearing that fear. I can't grow in compassion or freedom or love or generosity. 5 qualities that I would end with today on the color of my own palette that I try to understand. Metta, M-E-T-T-A, loving kindness. You know it when you see it, right? Someone's radiating in a sense of your happiness is my feeling. And it's proactive in its generosity, Dana, in that I want to co-create with you ways in which you feel happy. Very beautiful form of love, yeah? Communing with generosity and loving kindness. You can't say enough about compassion, the ability to co-resonate with another person's complexity and suffering. But in Burma, they use the word fantasy love, fantasy compassion. Unless it's coupled with action, it becomes just simply a state of mind. Generosity would never be considered generous if you just simply thought about feeding you. I must find the resources. I must stay steadfast with the flow of Dharma in soul, in shared space, and not be satisfied until you, in fact, receive open-heartedly the gift of Dharma, right? Same thing with love. One of the fears that I have is that we all want to be in love and we all protect it with all we've got. It's very difficult, the protocol of expressing love. There seems to be a collective protocol of expressing struggle. I'm not saying it's the only thing. Healing through loving, healing through giving, healing through compassion. The resonance of the heart that quivers with the struggle of another, but seeks ways to elevate the status of the other being in ways that they become more independent rather than dependent. Compassion. And then the 4th quality here, or the 5th, was love, generosity, compassion, is known as mudita, M-U-D-I-T-A, very unusual Buddhist term. It isn't found only within anything to do with Buddhism, but mudita. What does it mean? The joy that another person feels becomes your joy. Someone else is happy, they've had a success, something good has happened to them, they've overcome a struggle, an addiction, they've looked carefully in the forgiveness of their mom or dad, they've reconciled with their child or their family, they become more sovereign, they survive 10-day meditation retreat. They're sharing with you, mudita. And the general protocol, often when someone is sharing something very satisfying to them, I'm not saying this is about you or me, but it's very easy to celebrate for a few seconds, maybe a few minutes, and then we're on to the norm. Mudita is actually a sustained elevation of the other's joy based on the intention to co-create new vistas and expressions of that joy that maybe not yet be discovered. Oh, how was your retreat? It was really interesting. What was interesting about it? Taking the future, taking speed out of the space, co-joining these mind states to elevate them up rather than get through them. We're very stingy sometimes with giving to elevate another person's happiness or when they're happy, but we're very patient with hearing their complexity and struggles. Train the mind to enjoy joy equal to being compassionate with the struggle. Mudita. Your happiness is my happiness. Just, oh, would you like to have tea? I'd like to hear more about how it was for you. Oh, you mean you're not bored with that? Or it's not excessive? No, not at all. I want to really hear Ubuntu. I can't be who I am without you. Your joy is my joy. My joy is the gift of giving back to listening to you, to hear you explore it. I can learn with you. I'm apprenticing with your happiness. That's very interesting to me. Upekkha, balanced mind. Equanimity. It's more intelligent than equanimity alone. It really sees the vicissitudes, the convulsions, the waves of samsara, the ups and downs, the good, the bad, the right, the wrong, the pleasure and pain, the hate and love, all the dualities in this ocean of infinity. Lokiya, they call them, worldly phenomena, worldly convulsions that just come and go based upon conditions often not of our own understanding. Upekkha understands these intrinsic waves, whirlpools and convulsions and volcanic bursts, and has a sense of wisdom-infused, intelligent balance that goes, just Lokiya, just the phenomenology of the whole. Sometimes you win and you count your loot, next thing you know, it's gone. My happiness is not dependent on Big Brother, on money, on my face. I refuse to participate in the pharmaceutical freedom of Botox, filler, and lies. I'm not judging. If I had the money, I'd have Botox. You just look better when you're young, right? Look at the narrative of how it works. But balance understands that no matter what you do, you can't stop the instincts of this samsaric sea on the terms of form. You can't just live in the temple. You have to be willing to take your shoes off and live in the ghetto. It happens. Look at Ceausescu. Look at the great saints. Look at the great dictators. From ups and downs. Look at the convulsions. Unexpected. 1 minute you're famous. Next minute you're vilified. Gandhi killed. King killed. Kennedy killed. Joan killed. A planet dissolving into thin air. 1 million, 1 billion years from now. There is no legacy of our existence in any known way. A short nanosecond from now. Take the treasures of the human experience where they are. Do not place our wealth where dust and rust doth corrupt. When I'm in judgment, they know not what they do. My arrogance tells me to teach them on what they should know. The next level of biblical mindful intelligence. But no matter what happens in this world, there are the forces of primordial evil. I don't know that it sources in a psyche somewhere, but they are destructive forces in this ocean. I want to understand how I'm responsible or irresponsible for their arising. Dana, love, compassion, mudita, balance of mind. May we include these, should you feel inspired, on the palette of our inner world and learn how to put the mindful brush of our heart into these paints and learn to use them in prose and poetry and color and pixelation, intimacy and vulnerability. Let them infuse our beingness together in Ubuntu, the beautification of Ubuntu. Despite the circumstances, may we come together in heart. May we send a prayer around the world in support of the isolation, the fear, the complexities, the struggle, the unthinkable loss of that which sustains the most basic forms of shelter and medicine and food. May we learn in this process as much as we can in our little ways to give life to Dhamma, generosity. It's something very satisfying, and I know you know this. When you live in harmony with your ethical intelligence, my sense is you have the right to be able to reflect on the rightness of your conscience. And as I gather from my little life and the political prisoners that I've spoken to, they survived on the reflection of their dignity, their rightness in conscience, and their choice against all odds. My freedom is not yours to take. I'm right, and you'll be much happier in democracy than dictatorship. They said this. So I leave you today with an opening for tonight and tomorrow. Thank you from my heart for venturing out here into the wilderness of totality on this beautiful little vista overlooking this gorgeous valley and this extraordinary land on this incredible planet. Right now, needing our love, each of us are mothers. Can we hold each other as mothers and children? Can we listen to our friends? Can we listen to the pains of the world? Nope. And practice non-fixation. And keep that, the oxygenation of mindful open-heartedness as we move through the night, as we take our meal, as we drink our tea or wine, as we contemplate our own mind, as we take notes and write and protect and communicate, listen, feel, and be sovereign over the choices that we make of states of mind. And please see you tomorrow, 9 in the morning, for our first and only day of this 3-day virtual retreat in real time here on this planet. For those of you who have a friend who's really close to you, you're welcome to bring them if they're healthy and they've practiced all the necessities of staying healthy for the last week. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful night, and thank you for allowing me to grow through your Ubuntu in my Ubuntu. Namaste.
That has been Alan Clements Uncensored. Thank you for listening. You can find the entire list of my podcasts at alanclements.com, along with my books and upcoming events and live broadcasts. In addition, you can also book a private session with me if you wish by phone or Skype on the website.
If you're a regular listener or simply feel moved to support my work, You can make a one-time donation or a recurring donation, a tax-deductible one, in any amount you feel comfortable, either on the support page of AlanClements.com or a monthly pledge through my Patreon site at patreon.com/AlanClements. Thank you for listening to my podcast, and thank you for sharing word of it among your friends and on social media. Thank you from my heart. Until the next time, blaze on with fearless love.